we have some really sad news, and that is the colony that was living in this box has moved on. It's left us. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but there is some evidence within these frames. So let's go through it and try to figure it out. I've actually already started. So this was the first frame. They didn't really get to storing any honey or pollen or brood in there. And this was the second frame in. We've got some bee bread, and let me just back up a minute. There's going to be no honey in any of these frames because I think it was about 2 weeks ago or maybe longer that this box was left empty and it has been robbed by ants and bees, robbed of all its honey stores. And it was a couple of weeks ago when I saw these ants crawling up the side of the box and getting in. But I also saw bees flying in and out of the entrance. So I thought, oh, there's still bees there. The ants are trying to get in, but they're not. They must not be getting in because the bees are still there, right? And I think I was wrong. The ants were definitely getting in, and the bees were actually robbing the hive as well, right? So yeah, there's no honey in any of these frames, but as you can see in this one, there is bee bread. So that is pollen that has been fermented over weeks, just like stored in there. And I'm going to pull some out so you can have a better look. Well, that was unexpectedly satisfying. Okay, so see this, the hexagon structure, and then they pack pollen, you know, one by one, and they're also putting honey in there. Their saliva's getting in there, enzymes, all sorts of things, and then I think they seal it with the honey. I don't think any wax is going in there. And then layer by layer, they're building and filling this up, and you can see it there as well. Let's have a little taste. Should I just eat the whole thing? I'll eat a little bit first. Yep. Tasted that before. Got some orange pollen in there. I'm trying to think of like how to describe it. It tastes like fruity. I want to say citrus because there's this like sort of sour element, which is a byproduct of the fermentation. It's acidic, like I believe it's lactic acid bacteria, which is actually breaking down the pollen granules into this more digestible form. So bee bread is like way more superior than pollen, just because all those nutrients which pollen is known for have been made accessible. It's yum. You know how people sprinkle pollen on their smoothies or on their yogurt? Like if you're doing it with this stuff, I think it would be more yum. Firstly, because pollen's like bitter, which you lose. There's no bitter element to this. To me, bitterness is like a sign of maybe I shouldn't be eating too much of this. It's going to be hard to digest. I just went in on that. I'm going to get a bowl and try to collect some of this. All right. Now this stuff goes for quite a lot of money. When beekeepers harvest this, they're like kind of killing their bee colony, right? Like this is something that the bees have fermented for weeks to create food for the baby bees and stuff. And then you're taking it away from them. I guess there's a way that you could do it so it doesn't, kill the hive. It's a bit more balanced. I'm sure they have more efficient processes, but if it's anything like this, then it's very time consuming as well. Alright, so I'm going to save all the bits like this that are just bee bread and put them in this bucket, and then later I'm going to put them into this bowl. Okay, frame 3. Wow. What do you think was in here? So there's the bee bread. Maybe there's bee bread that's been taken out. I think there was maybe brood in here. It's quite dark, and I think the brood tends to go quite dark because every time the bees emerge from the cells that they are hatching in, they line the whole cell with propolis to clean it. That's the first thing, one of the first things they do when they get out. So maybe that's why. It's got some weight to it. What would be cool if we had some royal jelly? The perfect hexagons are so cool. I don't know what exactly to do with all of this. Maybe I should burn it. Oh, there's stuff in both sides, right. Frame 4. This is where it gets interesting. We have bee bread, a few ants, and then these are brood cells. And you can even see like, oh, what is that? I think that was a mite. Not sure if that's varroa or not. That was a mite. A mite just jumped out. So these have little baby bees in them. We can open some up and have a look. Same on both sides. Let's see what we have here. And the brood. This brood chamber needs to be kept at a constant temperature for them to hatch. So, none of these guys will be alive. So, okay, here we go. That is a baby bee. I mean, look. It's the shape of a bee, except it's white. Should I eat it? I think I'm going to eat it, guys. I've had that before. Oh, shit. I think that's before it even takes bee shape. So there's royal jelly in here because the bees get packed into the cell, the eggs, with royal jelly. And then, they feed on that as they grow. This one has some color to it. See, that's kind of dark in the top half. Next frame. Now this is where it gets, even more interesting. What do you notice different on this? Well, for one, that is all bee bread. Holy jackpot. But these two are queen cells. To me, it looks like they were fully formed and then the queen has broken out of them. But I'm not an expert here. You can see they were also like, they started building one here. They always hang off the bottom like this little peanut sort of shape. Another one on this side. This means they've swarmed, or they were planning to swarm. I assume they've swarmed for whatever reason. They felt like it wasn't a good home, or they felt like they needed to. There could be so many reasons why they decide to swarm. So much more than anything we could comprehend, because they are just so in tune. Yeah, they've swarmed. So they breed a new queen, and then when the new queen hatches, the old queen with half of the hive leaves, and the new queen stays with the other half of the hive. So I don't know what it means, the fact that they're swarmed, but maybe the whole colony has left, or maybe half the colony has left and the other half didn't survive. Who knows what exactly was the case, but we have a whole lot of bee bread to harvest here. Whoa, that is heavy. It's really orange too and dark. So that makes sense because as we get further into the hive, this bee bread has been fermenting for longer. Wow, that tastes gnarly. Hopefully you can see that. Orange. Wow. The queen cells are so cool. Oh, that's just so... Look at that. Do you dare me? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a wet dream tonight. Wow. Potent. I say that because bee bread's really good for reproductive health. Oh! That's like a brick. Oh my. Holy. Even a little bit of honey. Wow. Wow. Guys. Wow, man. There's just so much. Full jackpot. Alright. Bucket's full. That's another cool one. Bee bread, of course. The honey's been snatched up. Brew down the bottom. Now you got bees half emerged. They wouldn't be alive. The half emerged bees is weird. Another swarm cell. Swarm cell or queen cell. Okay, we need to start taking these apart and kind of looking inside. Gives us a better idea of what's going on. A bit of honey here. Phone died. But yeah, back to this little treasure hunt. Big brick of pollen right here. Let's just try and get through these last 2 frames. no idea what happened here. I thought this was quite interesting. Like, what could that have been? Bees, half... These bees are like half out. And you know they're dead when their tongue's sticking out like that. So much bee bread, guys. Holy. I'm eating that piece. Okay, last frame, fellas. I think I took a bite of that. I was like, what? But see, that is all fucking bee bread. And that's it. I'm not sure what to do with the brood. Maybe give it to the chickens. I'm sure the chickens will eat all those baby bees up. I guess I could eat it. Chuck her in the freezer and just eat them because that's good protein, royal jelly, all that good stuff. Very cool, very special. This is quite a rare thing, right? Yeah, so this doesn't happen too often, but when it does happen, you want to like make the most of it. You don't want all this stuff to go to waste. You know, the bees robbing all these frames of honey is a great thing because then it's really not going to waste. You know, but we're not going to just like chuck it out. You know, we give it back to the earth and recycle it. This is a lot of bee bread that I'm eating. And bee bread is just a complete superfood. So follow my Instagram and I'll let you guys know if I am feeling anything later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.